Hello everyone, and welcome back to Coral Island. It's been a while since we played, and while it is not going to be close to the Valentine's Day festival in the game, which I believe there is one, I could be horribly wrong, it is Valentine's Day tomorrow, so we are, we're gonna go see one of my followers, how would you say, lady friends? Hello, audio. How's it going? Let's see. Crickets and fireflies. Okay, crickets and fireflies. Yeah, that makes sense that they're only out at night. Of course it's going to be sunny. Okay. It's Walter's birthday? Who the heck's Walter? You want Mark? I want Mark too. It's okay. We share a common goal. The town is looking for volunteers to attend the tree planting festival tomorrow. If you'd like to stop by between 8 a.m. and 2 p.m. We meet in the forest right behind your farm. We'll start the festival right behind my farm? We'll start the festival as soon as we have some volunteers. I hope I know where that is. Because, like, when I think, like, right behind my farm, I literally think of just going, like, straight down. But I think that leads me towards the beach. Oh, you know, I'm stuck thinking about D&D. There's, like, things that I want to happen and things that I hope don't happen. And I'm like, oh, dear Lord. I have high hopes, but then again, at the same time, I'm, like, so worried about dying. And honestly, that makes me not want to do anything, because it's like, if I'm sitting perfectly still, the only thing that can kill me is the DM's wrath. Oh no, because you made it perfectly clear that we can die. It will always be a fear. And now, like, the way that I, like, think about my character and everything is I sit there and, like, I try to think about how the character is and, like, how she's processing things. And, like, I'm really trying to, like, get into her head. And it's just, like, it's hard to pinpoint exactly how she's feeling. Oh, boy. See, when you say things like that, now I'm scared. Especially since, like, I don't want to die because I put a lot into this character, and it would be so disappointing and horribly unfulfilling if I die for stupid reasons. Like, I think that's the thing, is dying for stupid reasons just makes me, like, want to scream. I'm like, if I died for stupid freaking reasons, I'd be so mad. See, and that's the thing is, I want to I want to continue on in this campaign as this character, because if I die and I'm my stupid side character, I'm just angry. I'd be angry. And I think it's, like I said, it's because I've put a lot into this character. Do we have animals yet? I don't know if we have animals yet. Do we? Oh, we do! We have cows! Moo cows! Where's the... Do I have it? Oh, I do! I was like, where's the thingy? Like I said, I'm so excited, but it's just... Part of me is like, okay, I could totally horribly die a stupid agonizing death. I'm like, I think maybe someday I might make a character who I'm like not as... A character who I'm like okay with dying. Today is not that day. Today is a day that I would still be horribly sad if something like that happened. But it's like, I also don't want to like cramp your style as a DM, but I don't want to die. Yeah, I mean, I don't know, some people make characters and they're just like, yeah, you know, it kind of sucks, but like, I'm looking forward to playing this new character. That is not me. I am very much, at least with her and Mashai, like, a lot of time and effort went into creating these characters and their very intricate backstories. And if I didn't have fulfillment with this story, I would be like really upset. Because it's like all this time and effort, and then it almost feels like, well, what did I even do any of it for? Diving. Let's see. Artifacts. I don't know. We'll just increase the chance of finding artifacts. Which I hope is, you know, a good thing. Have I need to check this real quick just to see. Okay, well. Sometimes it'll tell me if I've donated it or not, because I know that milk is one of them. Like, I kind of just want a campaign at some point where I just make like a ton of characters and it's like, oh no, that one died. Oh look, fresh sheet. Like I said, when that much love and effort was put into a character sheet, I was just like, I don't want to die. Which, like, lends to the character, because then it's like, okay, my character is, like, super, super anxious, because it's like, oh yeah, like, I almost just died. Okay, none of us are treating it comfy. I don't think any of us is ever going to feel safe with our characters. But I also, like, hate the feeling like I'm going to puke, because at some point I'm just like, oh my gosh, like, I am going to die. During the fight, and because I also, like, have sort of an inkling, because, like, who was it? Yoku mentioned that Yumino doesn't have, like, super high health. So it's like, okay, at any moment, one of us might die, and it's just, like, terrifying, because it's like, what happens if I can't save them? Hey, you allowed it. You could have, like, driven the situation, but you're like, oh, no, it's fine. And we made, what, 3 camps? Because the first one, you were like, hey, y'all, it's getting dark. So we're like, oh, okay, make camp. The second one as well, you were like, oh, well, you know, it's getting kind of dark. Like, you literally led us into, like, making camp. And then by the time we got to the lake, it was getting dark. You keep making it dark! Doing things just, like, I don't know. For our first fight, that would have been, like, that would have been terrible. Especially if we, like, lost him, because there's no guarantee that any of us could have actually saved him. It's like, yes, we have healing spells, but what happens if it was, like, complete and utter, like, well, what would happen if you knocked out all of us? It's like, oh, look, there we go, we're all dead. Like, first episode, we're all just deceased. Hello! We're talking about audio possibly killing all of us. Okay, but we asked, you're like, what time is it? And you're like, oh, well, yeah, it's getting dark. Okay. Water break redeemed. But yeah, when we're traveling, none of us is stupid enough to do anything at night. Like, that's just, that is how you roll when you're, you know, in a survival situation. Do we risk going out at night and getting eaten by something in the wilds? No sane person is gonna do that. Well, guys. Yeah, no sane person is gonna do that. Sorry to burst that bubble, but we might not be super smart, but we're smarter than the average bear. Like, and that's the thing, is like, so sometimes you're gonna have to realize, like, there are things we are not going to do just because that's okay, yes, we are all soft and squishy. And then, of course, like, with my background, I'm not going to go out at night alone, like, in the dark. Not gonna happen. Ah, crap, is it doing it again? I don't know what happens, but every now and then... No! My scroll wheel just ceases to function as my scroll wheel. Then it's all like, oh, you want to zoom in? I'm like, no! No, I want to switch my tools. Mother fluffer. What is happening? Why? No, God. Can somebody look and see if there's like a toggle or something for that? Because no, I don't. It did this last time too. When is that? Is that in 2 weeks? Mother trucker. I'm starting to get peeved. I keep just automatically trying to scroll, but the stupid freaking wheel. You're not working. Gosh, this is like making me like irrationally angry. So, I'm trying to use the scroll wheel, which normally will shift like my tools, but it's not doing that right now. All it's doing is zooming in and out. I'm like, it shouldn't be doing that. It's being an absolute pain in the freaking butt, and I don't remember how we fixed it last time. Nope, still doing it. Urgh. Why is it not? Okay, so it is just showing me. I was like, why is it not showing me? Haha! You people are wonderful. I was like, it's gotta be something. Because I was like, I fixed it. Or it fixed itself, I guess, last time, so. Yay! I have not seen Alex's girlfriend yet. I've been busy on the farm. Yeah, I'm not surprised. I'm not surprised to find a glitch. Where is Macy? Oh, Macy! Macy? Macy? No. 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 Where the heck is she? Macy? Who is that? It was a stranger I can't get to. Mark. I found Mark. That's not 12, is it? No, that's 10. I wonder if she's in there. Since I'm not seeing her anywhere else, this is really kind of the only thing that makes sense. So I guess we're going to go over there. Okay, I'll be here. Looking for Macy. Hoping to run into Mark. Which way is Mark going? I don't know why I want to see the man. Where'd he go? Where'd he go? Oh, he was going up. He was going back home. Mark! But I love you. Yeah, okay, well. Fingers crossed that Macy's there, because I have absolutely no idea where she might be. Is that Waku? I think it is. Waku! I have flowers. Gift. Hey, thanks for thinking of me. Want to talk? If you're free tomorrow, join us for the tree planting. If you're not free, cancel your plans and come anyway. Aw, he's so cute. I like him. Macy? Hello. Is Macy in the bar? Found her. Okay, so Dinda is looking for her husband who's at the bar? Oh, there you are. Weren't you supposed to be home by sunset, Joko? We had plans, remember? Uh-oh. Ah, honey, I lost track of the time. Sorry. I'd be pissed off too. Save your sweethearts for later, Joko. We're going home now. Good luck, Joko. If you make plans, you follow through with your plans. It's not funny. Hi, Macy. This is from your secret admirer. Wow, would you look at that? Thank you. I'm going to take tons of pictures of everyone planting trees tomorrow. There we go. We found her. The heck is he doing? We're just not going to ask. Hi, Kenny! How did you know I like this? Thanks. A boat ride tomorrow sounds fine to me. Just hoping for some smooth sailing and good old vibes. Kenny's sweet. I like Kenny. I want to say hi to Pablo. I'm not like trying to romance him or anything, but... Tree planting tomorrow? I'm so there. And I'm bringing my whole crew. Raphael, Scott, Luke. The more the merrier. I still don't know where it's at. I hope it'll tell me on the map. Oh no. Oh, Disnerd, why are you do a snack attack? I just had dinner. I was actually thinking, I was like, I should take that off after I've had, like, when I've had dinner first. But I was like, no, like, nobody's gonna pick it. Disnerd! Fine, I have peanut butter bites. I will eat a couple peanut butter bites. Man, those are so good. What did everyone have for dinner? My sister-in-law is allergic to peanuts. I would be devastated because I love peanut butter. No, don't worry. I'm eating plenty. Butter seems happy today. I love butter. Butter and peanut. This cat is so adorable. I loved him. Haha, beetle. They look like they're wearing little shirts. I absolutely love them. Yeah, you still need to eat. The precious little Bombina. I love seeing her. She's adorable. She's getting so big, though. But I love her little face. I'm trying to work on a little story for her, except it makes me cry whenever I look at it, so I'm just like, I little bits at a time, I'll write, but I'm like, it's getting me emotional. Yeah, I was telling my coworker about it the other day, and I was like, but I start crying whenever I get to the last part. Like, I'm trying to get the rhythmic flow of the words to, like, sound good, but... Oh! We just got hearts. Money doesn't even matter anymore. Oh, attend tree planting festival. Okay. I can't draw. It's a lovely idea, but... I had an art teacher who was very disappointed that I came back for a second semester. Like, I know I'm not good at illustrations. I know I'm not. And, like, I tried really hard in my drawing class. But when the second semester came around and I walked in, I was like, hi! And he goes, oh, you're back. It's like, oh. Isn't bad. Yeah, that was a hefty blow to the negative ego that I already had. I was just like, oh. Like, I'm sorry to disturb you with my presence. Yeah, he didn't overly care for my my style, which was pretty much non-existent. But like I said, I tried. I had a really hard time with shading. And so to make things easier for myself, instead of using pencils, I had rather unorthodox methods. I would essentially shave a charcoal, and I kept it in this little, almost like an Easter egg. But I would keep a hold of it, and I had paintbrushes that I would go in and use the charcoal for shading with a paintbrush. And he's like, that's not drawing. And I was like, but, like, I did the assignment. I was very notorious for using unorthodox drawing equipment. No, this was in college. And, like, it was a later class. So, yeah, late night class at the college. And I mean, it was dark when I got out of class. Late night class. I think it was 1 or 2 times a week. And, like, I thought the teacher was pretty cool, but yeah, no, he did not care for me. Yes. Glasses. Kind of short, a little bit thin. Okay, so it's that way. So it's not behind the farm, it's to the side of the... Yeah. Well, gee, we went to the same college. I wonder why we had the same art teacher. Like, he was a pretty cool teacher. He just, like I said, did not care for my methods. It's like, I tried. Where is this thing? It's like, up the hill? What? Tree planting, yes. Good morning, everyone. It's great to see so many of you here today. And especially you, Rosie. I'm glad to see you made it. Ah, fine. Oh, stretch. Oh. I have stretched. And look at this turnout. It looks like we have just enough volunteers. Pablo, where's your whole crew? I see you and your brother. What happened to Scott? What happened to Luke? Liars. Let's get going, folks. I'll share more details when we've arrived at Perwo? Why are things deliberately hard to pronounce? I'm gonna say Perwo Woods? I think? Yeah. Yeah. There's a lot of people like that. Is everyone ready? Off we go! You know, I feel that. I feel that on a personal level. What was it? So, one of the ones that he didn't like was when he made us do a student showcase, and I didn't want to, because I was like, I'm not a good drawer. Like, why are you making me do this? But he made us do the showcase. And so I picked my best one, which had the cleanest lines. It was a Sharpie drawing, and it was Jack Skellington in front of a set of Mickey Mouse ears, and it had his name, Jack, in lettering on one of the ears. It was like, that was the best piece that I had done. And he looked at me, he goes, is that what you're turning in? I was like, you said I had to turn in something, and that's the best thing that I've done. He was not happy. Okay, but it helps if you're naturally inclined towards drawing. Like, literally, I can take out my sketchbooks. They're right here. I keep them as a lesson to myself. But I have them all. I have 4 sketchbooks, because I think I use 2 books per semester. And I have them, and they're full of absolutely horrible drawings. And I'm like, oh, would you look at that? It's not for me. Yeah, he was frustrated with me, and I was frustrated with him, so together we just kind of agreed that if we just didn't focus on each other, it was fine. Here we are in Perwo Woods. What's left of it anyway. Illegal logging did serious damage here, but that's about to change. The government has given jurisdiction of Perwo Woods over to the Starlit... I keep wanting to say Scarlet Town, it's Starlit. And why we're holding this temporary event this year. We're going to completely reforest Perwo Woods. This is a very small group to reforest an entire area. I did great with essays. All my English teachers loved me. My LCOM teachers absolutely adored me. I adored them. We were like best friends. I did great projects. I wrote a short story for one of my accompanying projects with my final essay. Everything was great. I do great at English, psychology, anthropology. Absolutely killed it. Art? Absolutely not. Art is where I failed. I was like, it's an elective! I did so bad. Oh my gosh, all of my teachers, like, I literally was on first name basis with like 5 of my teachers, and 2 of my teachers were like, we should start thinking about doing an LCOM together, because that would be awesome, because I think she would take the class. It was my my psychology professor and my anthropology professor. They were wanting to start an LCOM together so that I could take their class, because I was like, I would love to take another class with the both of you. But I took every class my psychology teacher taught and every class that my anthropology teacher taught, and I'm like, oh, I'm out of classes to take. audio. You're awful. How are we so different as students? So let's get to it and plant some trees. Sorry, Connor, I kind of got off track. Plant the trees, pat, pat, pat. Not gonna lie, they would make a really cute couple. Raphael and Millie, they would be adorable. That is a lot of land for, like, 15 people. Did we have the same psych teacher? Okay, if you're a terrible student, you can't expect the teacher to like you. I was always the great student. I was the one who was there, like, every single day. I was always early. My anthropology teacher loved me because I had one of her 8 a.m. classes, and I showed up, and I was, like, half asleep. And she's like, are you good? I was like, I'm here. I promise. Just let me wake up for, like, 3 seconds. And I would always stop and get breakfast first, and she was always super chill with that. She'd be like, oh, did you get breakfast? It's like, yeah, I'm, like, starving. No, I didn't have Erickson. I had, Fulton. Fulton loved me. Oh my gosh! No! Like, literally, I made the mistake of 8 a.m. class, and I still was at class every single day on time. And that was including my Wednesday night class? My Wednesday night class got out at, like, 9:30, and I would drive home, and I would always hit the same Wendy's, because I was like, I'm so freaking tired, I can't cook dinner right now. So I would hit the Wendy's, and I'd go to my mom's house, and my mom was usually asleep by then. So I'd sit in my room on my bed, just like half comatose, eating Wendy's. And I was like, I still have to shower and go to bed. I wake up to go to school the next morning. And I had to go to work. I had a heck of a time with college. Okay. Then don't sign up for the early classes! Let's see. Being up here makes me miss being in the ocean. Oops, oh no, heaven forbid we share too much. How are you doing this fine afternoon? Luke, why are you polite sometimes but a jerk other times? No doctoring today for me and Yuri. We've got a planet to save. He looks like he's sneezing like absolutely mad. I think my worst days were like Tuesdays and Thursdays because I would literally wake up, go to early class. I'd be in class. I had 2 classes in the morning. And then, so I would have my morning class, and then I would go and I would grab a sandwich and some chips from the cafeteria. And then I would run to my psychology class. I asked my teacher, I was like, do you mind terribly if I eat in class? I literally have to go straight from here to work. And she's like, no, that's fine. This was like the 3rd class I took with her. She's like, no, it's fine. I understand. I totally get it. And I was like, thank you, kind lady. So I was literally sitting there, like, eating my sandwich, and everyone was just kind of staring at me, but every time somebody would stare, she would just kind of, like, redirect people. I'm like, yeah, I know. I'm eating in my college class. So I'd eat my food. And then literally, as soon as class ended, I ran out to my car, and I was changing my into my uniform in the car, driving to work, which was like 3 minutes away, having to cross so technically 4 lanes of traffic, and the speed limit was like 50 miles an hour. And I'm literally pulling on my polo over my undershirt, trying to change, and then I'd run from the parking lot all the way into the daycare. And that's a really long walk. Disnerd, you know how long that is. Long walk to the front, and then I have to clock in. And this one time, heaven forbid, it was right before a break, and my teacher was telling us, like, she was going over what we needed to do on break. So I texted my boss real quick, hey, I'm so sorry, like, my teacher's just gonna go over this real quick. It took like 10 minutes. I got to work, and I was a couple minutes late, and my boss sent me through the ringer for that one. She's like, you needed to be here, and you needed to release so-and-so for lunch, and why weren't you here? And I was like, I was texting you. Well, you're going to end up missing out on these hours. No, I didn't. They made me work overtime. And then I got yelled at for getting overtime. And I literally didn't want to stay any longer. Because at first I worked 9 to 6. And then they moved me 8 to 5. But when I was 8 to 5, they were still keeping me till 6. Because they're like, well, so-and-so needs help closing their room. Can you take the kids? And I'd be like, fine. And then they're like, why aren't you gone yet? I'm like, because they won't let me leave. Well, okay. The problem is, when I was scheduling my classes, I made the mistake of believing my boss when she said she'd work with me. That was the problem. Yeah, I believed my boss, and then it became, well, why aren't you here? What about this? What about this? And then one day, Wednesdays, heaven forbid, because I had to leave early, because my class started at 5:30, so I had to leave at 5:15 to get there at 5, to get there and be ready. And it was, that class, no, it was like 9:45 by the time it got out. So yeah, it was a 4-hour class Wednesday nights. I was like, I'm dying. Oh, and then I had yoga after work for one of my classes. So I got off of work, ran over to the college, changed into my yoga outfit, and then I was doing yoga, and one day, oh bless his heart, so we're in yoga class. I do the whole routine, everything's fine. He turns out the lights at the end, and we're laying on the ground. I think I had my yoga blanket wrapped up underneath my head, and he was like, okay, do your breathing exercises. So I'm practicing the chambered breathing, breathe in and fill up your chest, then fill up your lungs, then fill up your belly. And I was sitting there focusing on my breathing. I fell asleep. Hardcore fell asleep. He had to wake me up at the end of the class. Everybody's getting ready to go. And so he wakes me up, and I'm like, I'm about to cry. I'm so embarrassed. I'm just I feel so terrible. And bear in mind, this man's probably in his 70s. And I'm just I am so profusely apologizing. I'm so sorry, sir. I didn't mean to fall asleep. And he looks at me and he gets this big old goofy smile and he goes, no, you did a great job. He's like, you were so relaxed and so comfortable. You fell asleep. Oh, I could have kissed that man right there. I was so relieved that he wasn't mad at me for falling asleep in his class. He's like, you did such a good job. I was like, oh my gosh, you're so amazing. I loved that teacher. I had him twice too. Look, my outfit matches the theme. Green. I don't think Yuri wears anything other than her uniform. I don't think I've seen her outside of her scrubs. All good vibes today. It's what I'm all about. Except for Jim. He's not good vibes. Poor Jim. And yes, Disnerd, with that boss, you were a brown noser. I know. I remember. I hope we have enough water for everyone. It's going to be a long day of laborious work, I can tell. What type of trees do you think would be best for planting here? Do you think oak trees are alright? I don't know. I brought some cookies to snack on, but Alice and I ate them on the boat, and we haven't even started planting yet. That's like when you go to a movie and you order popcorn, but you eat all the popcorn during the credits before you actually, or in the trailers before you actually get to the movie, and then you're like, oh, I'm out of popcorn. That's this face! This is the face of disappointment. What are we gonna do now? Eva, I feel you. I feel you, hon. I know that feeling. Oh, we haven't even started the festival. Okay, well, I guess I'm gonna talk to everybody. It's been a long time since I dug this hard. It's healthy to get outside the town once in a while. A change of environment is good for the soul. Meanwhile, me, like, sequestered in the smallest part of the house, just like, mine. If I could, like, only live in this room, I probably would. Emily and I brought the same kind of seats today. Were you required to bring your own seeds? I didn't bring seeds. This will be my workout for the week. Aw, Saria. Miss Rosie, are you planting trees today? I like this place better than the beach. Oh, Miss Rosie, did you know bugs and worms also live in trees? Yes, child. Hey! That boss, she was good to me. She really was. She wasn't the reason I quit. I quit because of her boss. Why are we still chit-chatting? Plant your trees. Kira, you jerk. Keep your sword close by. What, am I expecting a fight? Is this D&D all over again? I've been here many times. Not for tree planting, though. Mysterious. This place up here is so isolated. A lot like your farm. Was that an insult? Was that an insult to my little farm? Farmer, you're good looking, let me say. But you're blocking the epic view behind you. Why is he always yelling? Look at that! Does he need hearing aids? He's always like screaming. Think about it for a second, Walter. Funding a fully automated tree planter shouldn't be out of your reach. Randy here has an interesting proposition. It gets my retired investor's blood going again. Isn't that right, Randy? I want to grow tall like a tree. Oh, Valentine's cute. Oh, there's... Are you telling me that I have to buy seeds to plant? Yes or no? Because if it's a yes, I am going to be very insulted. What? Do I need these things? I don't think I need these things. Oh dear, the trip is getting more tiring these days. But it's wonderful to see the beautiful view from up here again. Aw, poor Betty. I'll never get used to the boat ride. I think I'm going to be sick. Oh no, Charles! Charles, save him! Save the man! We make our carpentry as sustainable as we can. That's why I'm always here for these planting festivals. Giving back to Mother Nature, right? Paul, I saw you dancing yesterday. It's a little embarrassing, sir. One simple way we can make all make a difference is by planting trees. I can feel the clean air coming already. It's reassuring to see folks who deal with trees also making the effort to replant. It'll help wildlife thrive too. You have to be conscious of the whole ecosystem. Now that I know that she and Mark are brother and sister, I'm like, oh my gosh, I can't get it out of my head. Planting trees is good for the environment. Thank you, Raphael. That was very insightful. I can't wait to roll up my sleeves and get to work planting some trees. Sir, you already have your sleeves rolled up. Not gonna lie, it's a little dangerous. Pablo sneaks up on you! I told Kira and her boy to relax a bit. Wait. We don't want people getting nervous about monsters. Her boy, does she have a son? Like, what's... Okay, what's going on? Huh! We're here to make sure everything goes smoothly. And to plant trees. Yeah, sure. I'm guessing he was talking about Mark, because Mark's the other guy in the organization. Right? Give me a second. I just need to catch my breath. It's just so tiring trekking up here. I was like, is she asthmatic or what? If it weren't for our actions, we wouldn't need to do this. I'm not talking about you and me. Bah, I'm referring to us humans. We don't know our place sometimes. Jim's out here just like giving some heavy-hitting thoughts. I can feel it. Nature is slowly healing, thanks to everyone's efforts. Kenny looks like he's really close with nature right now, if you know what I mean. Kenny, I love you, but the face. Do you want to go down there with me? I'll walk with you. Scott? We're here to plant trees, not anything else. Whoa there, sir. This area gets a lot of rain. It's good because a nice, stable water supply is what we need for reforestation. Where's your shovel? I don't know. Maybe I can borrow yours. You look like you could rip up the earth with your bare hands. Calm down. I've spoken to everyone here, you know, on the boat ride, and I'm disappointed. I've learned nothing new about anyone. Nothing. Erica, why is such a busybody? Look at us, creating a forest in our backyard. So proud of us, so proud of you. I like Frank is so positive. Frank is good vibes. Ben, you need to be besties with Frank. He's all about them good vibes. What a day to be outside. Who else? Millie? Millie, have I talked to you? Glad to see you here, golden moth. What the heck? Such a good turnout. Millie, why am I a moth? I have questions now. I have all the questions. I think I've spoken to everybody. We're gonna start planting some Aw, frick. Oh, they're actually having me work. This is not how I thought this was gonna go. Are they seriously judging me right? Oh, am I not using... Oh, I'm not using any energy. Oh, it's fine. I don't see anybody else chopping. What the frick? I see how it is. I see how it is. It's another one of those things. Pablo, I see you. I see you. I'm insulted. Why is it... You know, for... Oh, dear sweet Lord of all that is holy. Do I have to go all the way down? Aww. Do I really have to work my way all the way down? Oh no, this seems unfair. How much of this do I have to do? Okay, Kira's actually holding a trash bag. Kira, you're not on the bad list. This is just... I better not be the only one working. Oh my gosh, look how much there is. Did everyone, like, take a segment, or, like, what's happening here? This better be it. Some games have festivals that are just like, what the absolute crap. Okay, it looks like I can't go that way, so I'm hoping that this is, like, the only part. And at least I'm not having to use my energy, because then, you know, I'd probably actually just, like, keel over. Then I had the thought, I'm like, what if they were telling me to buy the candy tree seeds because I wouldn't be able to, like, have enough energy to make it? Really? They're gonna make me go through this entire thing. What's next? Watering? Pablo! You standing there watching me work. I don't know how I feel about this festival. Ben, I'm not getting good vibes. I'm getting slave labor vibes. We're gonna start singing a song. So I finally watched the new Wonka movie. I was not expecting to like it. Lo and behold, I actually liked it. Also, Disnerd, it's not as creepy as the original, and it has Carson. Why am I like... I'm moving down the mountain. I'm like, what am I doing? Yeah, it's much more sentimental than I was expecting. Because, like, the first one's just, like, pretty crazy. The second one with Johnny Depp is actually just insane. Is that me or is that Lily? I think it's me. But yeah, it was really cute. The music... So, on the score pieces, they actually included a lot of the original music. And like I said, it was actually really sweet. It was Not what I was expecting. I did laugh quite a bit. The only thing I didn't like was the Oompa Loompa. That's a wrap, folks. We did it. The first area is all planted. First area? It was a lot of work, but our efforts will pay off. Next year, this area of woods will look completely different. For starters, it'll look much greener than it does now, and these trees will have full... Bro! Okay, trees work completely different, because it would be like, oh, it's been a year, you have a little, like a little tiny seedling. A fully grown tree? I can't wait to see it. Man's got big dreams. Great job, everyone. Yay! I planted a tree! What did I get? I got something. I got a banana seedling. Spring... Is that Mia? Or is that a racing car? That's the sad thing. I'm like, is it my dog or is it a car? Because honestly, they sound the same sometimes. Oh, I got to keep all the stuff that I cleared. Oh, I reorganized everything. Frick. Alright, well. Not too shabby, I guess. Can I still talk to people? Oh, Lily looks like she's dying even though I'm the one with the shovel. Lily, you good? I need to get fit. Oh, but I can't talk to Mark again? Okay. No, Scott. Feeling nature isn't the same as feeling the call of nature. Oh, that's funny. Oh, genuine interactions there. I love it. Surya? Oh, I can talk to Surya again. I'm gonna make a pot of lore tonight and feast. I don't know what that is. Okay, are we done? Can I go home? Yeah, can I leave? I'm done. I've done the work. Okay. I hate when they do this. Okay, this needs to go down here. Like, seriously, I'm like, quit reorganizing my backpack. This is my backpack. Oh, and I forgot I have the seedling. Should I plant the seedling? Spring or summer. So, if I plant it now, it will go into the next season. Oh, except I have to prep this. Except this one you actually have to water 4 times. Slightly annoying, but... Okay, I think I'll do one more day. We're technically almost at an hour, but I'll do it anyway. Merit point! What? Why does it say 1 of 3? Is it like 3 years or something? Or... I don't like that. I did the work. I did the work I was supposed to. Tell me I didn't do it. That's Mia. And Tony. Because they're terrible. Do. Spuds? Are those spuds? Do. It's funny. So my boss came up to me and she's like, so if we got some people who are like light duty, would you like mind? Do you need help? And I looked at her and I was like, I know I can get caught up. I'm not going to turn down the help. She's like, oh yeah? And I was like, yeah, no. Do you see that stack of papers right there? She's like, yeah. I was like, I haven't even touched that yet. I'm like, that is on top of the stack of papers I didn't get to finish last week because I was in a training. My boss is new, I will give her that. But I hate when other departments are like, oh, you're not busy. Here, stack of papers. I'm like, when the frick am I going to get to the stack of papers? Like, I don't even know. They just assume we do nothing. We're the backbone of the operation. Honestly, I just do paperwork, but still. It's important paperwork that the system wouldn't function without, so. I love the song in this game. It's very calming. You know, I'm getting Pride and Prejudice vibes off of that part. Like that piano part. That's okay. I'm just rambling. Me complaining about work. My boss came in and she was like, so if we get some light duty people, do you need a helper? Do you mind? I was like, I know that I can get caught up, but I wouldn't mind the help. I have like stacks and stacks of papers because every time I get part of the way through a stack, they're just like, oh, you're doing great, more papers. I'm like, quit giving me papers. And like, I get that the paperwork's my job, but like, I don't need to be drowning in paperwork all the time. So, okay, something crappy is happening next week. So, we're closed Monday for President's Day. Yeah, try doing the same paperwork every single day. But we're closed Monday for President's Day. I work 4/10s, which means, really nothing to the scenario, but since I get, Mondays off, well, since Monday is a holiday, my holiday moves to the next available day, which is Tuesday. Well, they decided it would be a really great idea to have company photos in our uniforms on Tuesday. Only to realize half of my department is out on Tuesday. So what did they decide to do? They decided to move the day off to Friday. I was going to come in on Tuesday and get some comp time, but with the extra day off, I would end up getting my comp time. So guess what? I'm working next Friday, being the only person in the building. I'm not super mad about it because we're going to be like closed. Like the front window is going to be closed. I'm not taking any calls. I'm not doing any of that. I'm literally just there to do my paperwork. But at the same time, I'm like, it's so crappy that it like moved and so I'm not going to have anybody there. Oh yeah. It's freaky there when you're by yourself. Every time I'm there, something happens. There's a bump, there's a noise. I've heard, it's not as haunted as the daycare, I will say that. The daycare was haunted AF. But, yeah, the weirdest things that have happened there so far, I was working by myself, typing, and there was an office behind me, and it was dark, nobody was in there, so I'm type, and I hear, psst. And so I turn around thinking like somebody was like in the kitchen back there or something. Yeah, no, I was by myself. I was like, ha ha ha. Great. I was like, it's happening again. I lived in a haunted house. Now guess what? I'm working in a haunted place. Yeah. Not a fan. Yeah, that happened. And then like sometimes when Sue is not there, because Sue works across the kitchen from me, sometimes when Sue's not there, I'll hear somebody typing at her computer and I'll think she's there and I'll be like, hey Sue, and she's not there. I'm like, oh, okay. Like, that's perfectly fine. Oh, you tried the focaccia? Honestly, I'm pretty sure that's the best focaccia that I've made. It had such a good flavor and the texture was actually really nice. I remembered to put the olive oil on the bottom this time. But normally I do Parmesan, but this time I did cheddar. And I put the cheese on first, and then I did the dimpling, and then I put more cheese on top of that. Honestly, it's pretty freaking good. I'm gonna tell you, I don't want you feeling bad. Either way, I don't want you feeling bad for my coworkers or, like, angry that I wasn't going to, but, so yesterday I was going to take some to Mama and some to my coworkers. But then I was like, but if I go and see Dessert in the Bambina, then I might as well take her some, but I didn't have enough for everyone. So you got the portion that was supposed to go to my coworkers. It's okay, I brought them extra bread. They got a whole freaking loaf of artisan bread that I cooked after I left your house. Ooh, are those gnocchi? What are those? What are those? Yeah, I freaking love the focaccia. And don't worry, like I said, Sue brought in jalapeno cheddar, except her loaf came out really, like, short and dense. And so what I'm thinking happened is her yeast, or her sourdough starter, wasn't activated enough. But it was really, like, and then it was super, super sour. Like, that sourdough taste was like a punch in the face. My other coworker brought an onion loaf, which I didn't try any of it because Sue said it was super sour, and I was like, Sue, I don't know if you know what you're talking about. And then my boss brought blueberry lemon coffee cake, a chocolate artisan loaf, which was really good, and then I brought, it was technically 2 halves of 2 different loaves, but it made like a whole loaf because I tried, there was more hydration and less hydration. So there's like the max hydration for a recipe, which was 2.5 cups. And then I did 2 cups just to see what the difference was. Honestly, I think I like the higher hydration better. But, anywho, I digress. My bread actually had hardly any of that sourdough taste. The focaccia probably had the most sourdough taste because it, you do your bulk fermentation on your counter. I actually put it in the stove, or the oven. But yeah, you do your bulk fermentation warm, so it creates more of that sourdough taste. But yeah, so there was a smorgasbord of bread. I literally had bread for breakfast and lunch. And then I had some of my bread with dinner. I have eaten so much bread. And you know, all my coworkers are like, oh my gosh, I shouldn't be eating this. I like to complain that I shouldn't be eating it, and you know what? I still go home and eat it. I love bread. Bread is so good. And honestly, this bread doesn't have any sugar. It has no added sugar, and it only has like 2 teaspoons of salt. It is literally flour, sourdough starter, water, and a tiny bit of salt. Like, I know everything that's going into it. Bread is life. Bread and carbs are life. And you know, it's funny. Hubs is like, oh no, like, he has to have meat with every single meal. When left to my own devices, I'm pretty much a vegetarian. Just because I cannot be freaking bothered to cook meat. Jesus said I'm the bread of life, not the kale of life. Okay, that one's hilarious. That's good stuff. That got me. That just reminds me of this this funny thing, and it was so it was a Baptist church down south, and the deacons' wives took turns making the bread for the Eucharist, and one of these little old ladies made raisin loaf. And it was funny because the pastor ended up saying, he's looking at it and he goes, "This is the body of Christ, except for the raisins." That just always makes me laugh. Like, Jesus was a raisin loaf today. Yeah, I just thought that was funny. Okay, have a trash sense of humor, okay? Moo cows. One of these days, I'm gonna compile like all the haunted stories from where I've worked. In my second job, so I was a billing assistant at a like home health place, and one of the rooms before the remodel had all their old paper files, but they were all clients who were deceased. They were all old. They all passed of natural causes. But yeah, so that's what was in this room, was all of the like documents for these deceased patients. And yeah, that room was extra creepy. It was super cold, not because of poor ventilation or anything. That room was just always super cold, and you always heard like the boxes and stuff shifting. I was like, nope. Somebody's like, can you go in there? I'm like, nope. I'm like, get somebody else. Ain't gonna be me. Just chopping down trees now. You know, one of these days, I don't know why, I love Q&A, but it rarely comes up. One of these days, I'm gonna be like, okay, everybody prep some questions. Prep some questions for me. I really hate that the sickle uses energy, because it doesn't in like almost every other farming game. Like, I don't know of... Let's see. I'm like trying to think of all my farming games. I don't think there are really any of the other ones, because I know that Stardew and I think some of the Harvest Moon games, like, it doesn't cost anything. And it's like I actually carry my sickle, because if I use it, it's not going to cost me anything. Okay, oh, whoa there, Diz Nerd. You gotta come out with the heavy hitters like the first thing. My greatest achievement. What is it, like 1.77245 or something like that? Greatest achievement. I finished a novel. I wrote an 80,000 word novel. That's pretty great. I graduated like 5th in my class in high school. I don't know. I finished an associate's degree in college because I burned out. I guess my sense of achievements are kind of skewed. I'm gonna go grab my my thing off the wall. Okay, we're gonna read this. We're gonna read my little plaque that hangs on my wall. Okay. This is Success by Ralph Waldo Emerson. Success. To laugh often and love much. To win the respect of intelligent persons and the affection of children. To earn the approbation of honest citizens and endure the betrayal of false friends. To appreciate beauty. To find the best in others. To give of oneself. To leave the world a bit better, whether by a healthy child, a garden patch, or a redeemed social condition. To have played and laughed with enthusiasm and sung without exultation, and sung with exultation. To know that even when life has breathed easier because you have lived, this is to have succeeded. That is what I have lived by for most of my life. That is success. That to me is success. Do I feel like I'm successful? I'm working on it. But I'm happy for the most part. Of course, you can always be happier, but I'm pretty happy. So I measure success in, can I live my life and be good, be happy, be a good person. I I would say yes. I would say I have succeeded in life. Okay, moving on. My favorite project to make, like my favorite crochet project. My favorite, like the outcome that was my favorite was Herman. Herman was absolutely freaking adorable and I love him. The blanket that Herman goes with is really, really cute. Herman's this little caterpillar and I love him. He was a freaking pain in the butt to create, but I love him. He's super stinky cute. That and I have an elephant that I made that's pretty darn cute, but I would say yeah, those ones. And I think I have like one little crochet dress that was really fun. But dang, that first question, that hits hard. I don't know. To be perfectly honest, I don't feel like I've ever achieved anything in my life. I've had small successes here and there, but I don't truly feel like I've ever accomplished anything. My favorite pasta dish? Ooh, that's a hard one. I love pasta. That's a toss-up between like classic like spaghetti with marinara and honestly though, if we're talking like straight up indulgence, I would have to say Olive Garden makes this chicken tortelloni Alfredo. So it's cheese-filled tortelloni with like grilled chicken and their Alfredo sauce, but then it's covered in cheese and baked. That is probably my favorite because it's very, very rich. And honestly, I can't hardly, like, I actually have to take over half of it home because I can never finish it while I'm there. But it's very rich and creamy and just like, it's decadent. It's salty, it's cheesy, it's crispy because of the baked cheese. It's so good. Favorite childhood memory? Okay, to be perfectly frank, I have blocked out like 99% of my childhood. Like, as in, I just straight up don't remember it. I remember bits and pieces. I have like flashbulb memories, but I don't actually have like solid memories. I'm like trying to think. Okay, one of my flashbulb memories is I went with Daddy to a card game that he was playing with his friends. And it was just me and him. I don't know where you were. But he and I went to this card game. And we were driving back into town, or back home. And he had a thing of black licorice, which only he and I liked. Like, nobody else in the house liked black licorice. And so we were in his truck, I think. And I remember laying across the front seat with my head in his lap and I was looking up and he kept feeding me pieces of black licorice and we were just sitting there laughing and he looked at me and he goes, "Don't tell your mom," because she hated when he would eat black licorice. That's probably one of my favorites. One of the other ones, it's not like childhood, but it was when I was a teenager. So when he and I were living by ourselves, not in the Hobbit house, but the duplex, when I was learning how to drive, if he had his personal vehicle, because half the time he was driving the company vehicle, but if he had his personal vehicle, he would tell me, hey, he'd be like, do you want something sweet? And I'm like, well, yeah. And he's like, well then, let's drive to the gas station and go pick something up. And I was like, oh, okay. So he would have me drive to the gas station to practice my driving hours. And, oh my gosh, this one day, so we're leaving the house. I always lock the door before I leave. So I lock it and I shut it. And he goes, "Did you just lock the door?" I was like, well, yeah. And he's like, "I didn't grab my keys." So the last time we accidentally locked ourselves out, the side window was open, and he shoved me through the window, and I got the key. Side window wasn't open because it was kind of winter, and I was like, oh no! And so he glares at me, and it was like this half-hearted kind of glare, and he just looks at me, And I'm just like, I'm trying not to laugh, but I just start laughing, and he's just so mad, and he goes, great, now we have to drive to your grandma's house all the way in the next town over and go get the key from her and open the door. So we're driving all the way into town, and I'm sitting there just like looking all scolded and everything, and I look over and he gives me this little glare, and I just start laughing. He goes, it's not funny. I was like, it kind of is a little bit. So I tried to be serious, and he just looks at me, and then he bursts out laughing. So like the whole like 25-minute drive, we are laughing hysterically. We get to Grandma's house, we knock on the door, she asks what happened. I'm like, I locked us out of the house, and she just starts laughing, and my dad's like, don't encourage her. That was one of my favorites. I never did, like, bad things, but when I accidentally messed up, it was usually hilarious. I have very few distinct memories, and then, Lord forbid if anybody's like, what's your favorite memory of, like, your parents being together? I'm like, I don't think I have. I have one memory of my parents together. Like, in the whole, like, 6 beginning years of my life. And it was my mom and dad and her friend Karen were goofing off, and they had like kitchen utensils. And I think my mom had a spatula and my dad had a spoon, and Karen I think had tongs. And they were chasing each other around her double wide. Just like chasing each other and like smacking each other when they got a hold of each other. But they were all running around, and then I jumped in and we're all running around the living room, and I think Karen grabbed me, like we fell on the couch or something, and we were just laughing. I think that's the only time I remember my mom and dad like hugging. And then it was just like, yay, so fun! I don't ever remember my parents being together. So like later on, of course, when my parents put me in counseling because I was maladjusted. Not really true. Now that I know what was going on, I'm like, oh, it all makes sense. Anyhow, when they had me in counseling, they're just like, all these kids, don't you ever wish your parents were back together? I'm like, no. Like, I don't remember what it was like when they were together. So, like, the concept of my parents being back together was so foreign, because I was like, were they ever together? It was odd. It was an odd childhood. Odd concept. But yeah. Perfectly well adjusted now. I'm totally fine. Any other questions before we go? Y'all and the heavy hitters tonight? Actually, no, Disney, it's just you. You know, that is the thing. That is the thing. They definitely were better off being separate. Honestly, if I hadn't come along, they would have been divorced way longer. Like, way before then, but, yeah. No, we'll stay together for the second kid. By that point, they already didn't like each other. But yes, bonus family! I have so much family now, it's insane. Okay, last call. Any more questions? I like answering questions. The bonus family? Yeah, they're pretty cool. I will say, the situation got better with age. Because even up to, oh gosh, even up to like 19, still didn't get along super great. Oh, my favorite type of bread. It depends on what category of bread we're talking about. Because I love all bread. I am equal opportunity with bread. If we're going sweet bread, my favorite is challah bread. It's a braided loaf. It's really good. It's an enriched loaf. Bread category. There's different kinds of bread, you uncultured swine. I love you. It's fine. No, with sweet bread, well, there's like sweet breads, there's dinner rolls, there's like sandwich bread, There's a bunch of different types of bread. It's like pasta. Never tell an Italian person there's only like one. You do too. You eat some bread. Let's see. If we're going like dinner rolls, that's the first thing that came to mind. My absolute favorite would have to be, they come in this like metal tin and you bake them, but they're like these little yeast rolls and they come out in almost like little triangles. Those are my favorite rolls. They're so good. They're yeasty and oh, it's delicious. Then just like regular bread. I don't know if I had to pick a bread. I'm not a super fan of just regular like white bread or anything like that. If I'm just like a good eating bread, oh, I'm obsessed with my focaccia now. That was never really a thing, but now, because at first, like, I'm like, focaccia's way too oily. I don't really like it. Well, guess what? If you make your own focaccia, you get to decide how much oil there is. So, yeah. I'm really in love with my focaccia now, especially the cheese. And that cinnamon roll focaccia that Disney had me make was actually really good. I probably want to make that again, but I will take up her suggestion and do coconut oil instead of olive oil. I feel like that would be really good. Okay, but I think that is going to be it for this episode. So thank you everyone so much for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I will be back tomorrow with another episode of my Discord Members' Choice. But until then, I hope everyone has a fantastic rest of their evening, and I hope to see you guys then.